Okay.
Tracey, this is Mike.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm really cool. Good. I'm really cool. How's the weather there?
It's been cold here, but it's starting to warm up now. The spring is finally starting to come around, so we can't complain.
I heard, yeah, because New York normally has a similar to London kind of weather.
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah, but I've had a bit of a strange day today. I moved house today, but I did it in the sunshine, so it was very nice.
Oh, well, that was good. And I'm sorry that it's so late over there. It's funny because, 30 years ago when we were doing this when we were younger and going to shows, we were probably just getting up at this time. Now I have to ask people if it's okay to call them because it's getting kind of late.
We have to plan our nights out these days.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. But one night that I'm waiting to plan on, and I'm hoping that it happens, is with rock artists getting back together. Maybe, just maybe you guys will make it here to America and to New York.
Oh, God, we will. We will, for sure.
That's fantastic. Well, Tracey, there's been such a revival in hard rock and heavy metal over the last 5 or 6 years, and this was the one band I kept saying, I hope they get back together. I hope they get, and you guys finally, said, hey, let's do it. How did it all come about?
Well, there's been a few attempts, and it was well deserved, but for different reasons, it didn't happen. But to have the original three together, the three original friends and school friends, to come back together after 30 years of not playing together, that is the strongest reunion you could ever, and reformation you could ever have.
It really, and people forget, that rock artists kind of go back to the late 70s, and you guys were all like kids. You were all teenagers. You were all like, in school, some of you. That's how far it goes back.
Yeah, back to 76.
Oh, 76. My God, I'm really dating myself now.
I know, but hey, we're still here.
That's the most important thing, that everybody is still here. But, you go back to the beginning of the band. You were all kids. I mean, you had the Turner sisters, and their father was actually involved in the band, too, back then. I don't remember, I guess, managing the band or looking after the business. Was that difficult, being involved like such a family unit with the other three of them? Did you ever feel like an outsider?
Well, I think situations are very difficult if you're not used to them and you're very young and naive and you don't know how to handle situations, But, I think people learn as they go on, in life. Obviously, you have to. And, I just think that, everybody makes mistakes and you think back and you think, oh, well, I should have done that differently. And I think everybody thinks that. And, it's, one of those things. We were all young and we were all very hungry for, rock and roll. And it was great, It was just, one of those things, we split up very, very early. And, I think if we weren't such good friends, if we hadn't have gone through that in the very beginning, we wouldn't be getting back together now. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it really is. And, you go back to that time, the late 70s, the early 80s, the scene was just like coming into its own back then. We were, doing something that was different from what our parents had before us. The music was changing, and you guys were kind of right there from the very. I mean, I remember getting the My Angel EP or the single from my at the airport. I paid like $8, which was a fortune back in like 1983. That was a lot of money back then, and I remember getting it saying, "Wow, this is some really kick-ass stuff." And like the album comes out the same year, I think, or a year later, and then you're gone. What happened the first time around?
Well, the really hard metal punk influences, sort of merged together with a very hungry, sort of rebellious teenage, girls that wanted to prove themselves in the new British wave of heavy metal, and I think we did it, and I didn't realise we did it until not very long ago, actually.
Yeah.
But, this is wonderful,
Yeah.
So, here we go again. I'm just so privileged and honoured and really hungry to get back and finish what we didn't finish.
Yeah, well, we're all looking forward to that. And you just said like girls getting involved in heavy metal in the business back in the day, and myself as a fan of music, I never ever looked at a band and say, oh, they were an all girl band, they can't be good, or why are girls? I never felt that way. I felt if the music was good, I didn't care who was playing it. It could have been a marshal
Yeah.
with 9 fingers. I mean, it didn't matter to me. But did you feel any
No.
kind of resistance back then, early on?
No, not with the fans and the people that appreciate the music and also the musicians in the field that we were in, because we didn't know anything other than that. But every time we played, like when we played Reading, which is a very good example actually, which was in 1982, we actually got signed to A&M after that performance. But all the bands they were all gentlemen, they're so polite and so nice, and very helpful, and and they were encouraging and supportive, and they wanted us to do well. So, it didn't come across. It was more in the press,
Yeah.
that we came across this problem, and also, what really annoyed me, which I can say what I like now about this, I really feel that the press at the time really tried to, promote this, sort of competition between Girlschool and Rock Goddess at the time. But little did everybody know, we actually are all from South London, apart from me, I'm from Durham. But I moved to South London, and Girlschool and Rock Goddess used to hang out together all the time.
I remember that they always made it like a competition between the two, and
Yeah.
they wanted to stir stuff up, I guess, because that's all they know how to do. But
Yeah.
but did
Well,
you like?
they wanted a story, didn't they?
Yeah, that's all it really ever came to. And but did you feel like, I mean, I know with the press the way they acted back then, they've done that with I think pretty much every band at one point or another. You're best friends 1 minute, and then they'll turn on you the next if it makes a story for them. But being so young back then, was it hard, like to grow that thick skin, like to the reviews and the comments that people made, because that the fans love the music, and did that override anything like a critic would say? Because well, most people think of critics anyway.
Well, obviously, you had to be careful, and being young and new to it all, you try to take advice from everybody, and the best advice really is you as a band, and the people around you that you trust, but the music business has changed so much in 30 years. I'm really looking forward to going back into it, with a different head.
Yeah.
Because we've all done so many things. Julie, oh bless her, she's had a family. She's got 3 grown-up children. One of her sons is a drummer, and she's hammering away probably as we speak.
Yeah.
Because we've got a schedule, obviously, and Jodie's been managing bands. She's been in market research, and I probably don't know and can't give you the full history on that until we actually meet in the next 2 weeks.
Sure.
To record half of the album. And we're going to rehearsals and then go and record. And myself, I've been in several bands. I've had a business here in Spain. I've had a rock bar. I've been promoting bands as well, and trying to keep my hand in, trying to play when I can, and got involved in a good music scene out here. So I've got a project in Spain, and we've all got our own lives. So we've got a set-up period.
Sure.
For the Rock Goddess project, and in 9 months the album will be completed and ready to go, and everything will be arranged before to promote this. Everything's coming in right now.
That's fantastic. I know, like you said, you kind of never left the music business. You've been in it almost since the beginning, on and off. I remember when you left Rock Goddess, you had the band She going with Jackie and Chris Bonacci.
Yeah.
I think Kat was in it, and Susie. But I know you never recorded anything. But are there any that at least came out? But are there any recordings of the songs from that?
I have them.
I would love to hear that.
I've yeah, but it's strange because I moved house today and I came across them. Funnily enough,
Oh,
this is really ironic, but I don't know if they're warped because they've moved several times,
yeah.
more than several times.
That was one band I was dying for something to come out on. It never happened, but then like not long after that, you hooked up with Girlschool, one of the bands that you were in competition with.
Oh, because we lost the producer that was taking us in the studio and getting this recording deal, and it was all really picking up. And he's the same producer that also recorded Rock Goddess and before, formerly with Girlschool, it was Vic Mail, and he died from a blood cancer disorder. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And it just all fell apart, as things do when when there's a dark cloud, then,
Yeah.
it forms more. So, anyway.
It happens.
I have several recordings.
When you have a chance, you got to get me one of those so I can hear it.
Yeah, they're only rehearsals, but
that's okay.
When you listen back to the time, and yeah, it was cool.
It reminds you of where you were back then at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in between Rock Goddess and Girlschool.
That's right. That's right. And you talk about Girlschool. You spent the late part of the 80s with the band, then got back with them again in around mid-90s. You spent over 10 years in Girlschool.
Sorry?
You spent over 10 years on and off in Girlschool also.
I did, yeah.
And what was that like playing with Girlschool at the time? Because, you had that competition with the press, but not in reality.
It was fantastic. Best years of my life.
Yeah, the Take a Bite record is great.
Take a Bite, because we recorded in the same studio as I did with Rock Goddess.
Yeah,
and I told them, they told me about an outtake recording that Vic Mail, producer, did of a Girlschool. And I said, he did the same with us. He did the same with us.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, absolutely gut-wrenching hilarious. It was so funny. Oh, I wished I had those. Somebody has. Are you listening?
Yeah, if they're listening, send them out. Get them to you because I'm sure you want to hear that.
It's really, really going to be brilliant. Oh, the Goddessa File, because we were going to call the first Rock Goddess album the Goddessa File.
Okay.
And and Kerrang used it as a slogan later, but initially that was the plan. But then we just wanted to call it Rock Goddess. It was the debut album. It was just Rock Goddess. But Vic Mail called the outtake of Rock Goddess the Goddessa File.
Now I'm going to go on a search, seeing if I can find it anywhere or get anybody who has that to let us know.
Yeah.
That would be great. But, I know you guys, you're going to get together soon. You're going to start working on music. Do you have anything that's been left around since the early days of the band that you might try to rework or put together, or are you going to just try to do all new material?
No, what we're doing is we're obviously doing new material for the album. So that's 12 new songs. Oh, actually, look, I can't really set things in stone, but this is the plan at the moment, okay? So the idea is it's 11 new songs. One of the old songs, which I'm not going to say, is going to be revamped and re-recorded.
Okay.
And then we're also, all of us working hard at the moment individually, because I'm in Spain and they're in the UK. That they're we're working on 6 songs at the moment from the past, with the first 3 albums, and there's going to be 13 old and 11 new.
Wow.
Mathematics, Tracey. Sorry.
That's okay. It's late and you've been moving all day. It's okay. That's no big deal. But, today a lot of bands that get back together, the members are all over the country, all over the world, and they do most of it through the computers and, with the technology you have today. You guys are going to get back together in the studio in person to put this together?
Yeah, we're going into rehearsals in 2 weeks.
Wow, that's fantastic. Do you like it better that way? Do you like it, the old school way where a band actually plays together? I know it's not that easy being so far apart all the time, but is that the ideal way for you?
Well, I think this has to be this way. This reformation has to be this way and no other, because this was the original chemistry
Yeah.
that started the band. So there's no question it won't be there, because it was there. Why shouldn't it be now? It's the same with any band, like any band. So it will be there, and I'm so excited about this. I can't tell you, because I've seen Jodie over the years, and we nearly formed another band, but that's another story for later. Called No Class, with part of Girlschool as well. But anyway, my point is, what was my point?
About playing together, the chemistry being there, and getting the way it used to be.
There's no question about that. That's going to be there, but I'm so excited because I haven't seen Julie for 25 years.
That's a long time. Yeah, you have to get to know each other again like that before I guess you even start playing. You have to meet up.
Oh yeah, no, well, it's all happening in within the next 3 weeks, and rehearsals and recording half the album, 6 tracks we're recording in 3 weeks' time.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
You got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, I love it. and then by the end of the summer, it'll be all done. And between now and then, we're setting up loads of things: tours, festivals, interviews, live TV. Oh, got loads of stuff.
Oh, that's great.
And it's going to be wonderful, all playing together again, like we do.
It definitely will be. And did you when the band was around, there was really no way, knowing how you were doing or how people felt about you, because there wasn't a lot of magazines or publications. Today with the internet, were you surprised at how much interest there was in rock artists, especially the original lineup?
Well, I've sort of kept a few things going over the years during my other projects, and I kept a Facebook. Oh, first of all, MySpace.
Yeah.
And just from my own links, from my own page, I decided to do a Rock Goddess page, and then that went onto Facebook, and I was surprised, and I've continued to be surprised throughout all these ventures to keep my history going with the best band I've ever played with, basically.
Yeah.
And there's no slight on Girlschool, because they're my best mates as well, and I've had the best years of my life with them too. But this was before then. This was my beginning. This is when I first started to play. So this is my baby.
Exactly. You have a lot of loves in your lifetime, but there's always something special about that first one, and that's how you feel about rock artists,
Yeah, but I love my time at Girlschool. I'd never change it, and I love my history with Rock Goddess and Girlschool, and she. And there's the bits in between.
You had Rock and Roll Gypsies for a while. Is that still going? Yeah, you had that for quite some time.
Yeah, they're still going. Matt, from Sham, and Monique and Richie, and they've got some great guys in. Oh, they're fantastic people, and a great project. It's been going now for, I think, almost 20 years, and it's worth checking out. And I'm glad to be, to have been a part of that and to still be a part of that.
Without a doubt. So, honestly, do you really think we'll get to see rock artists here in America after the album comes out? I know it's not so easy.
Maybe with Girlschool on the same lineup. What about that?
How can you do any better than that? You play twice a night, make double the money.
And wear wigs and confuse everybody.
That would be fantastic if that could happen. Look, Tracey, it's late over there. I'm not going to keep you much longer. I want people to hear your music. But I can't thank you enough for talking to me today. And when the album comes out and you want to promote it again, come back on the show and we'll do it all over again.
Cheers, Mike. Thanks a lot.
Tracey, good luck with the move. Take care.
Thanks.
All right, it was Tracey Lamb from Rock Goddess. It's late in Spain. I felt bad keeping her awake. She sounded really tired, you know, Tommy?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's late. She had a busy day, but I appreciate. See, that's what I talk about class. The lady moved all day today.
Yeah.
You know, it's late over there, and she still made sure that she was sitting by the computer at 12 o'clock at night to answer the Skype phone call to do the interview. Where other people live 5 minutes from your house, and they don't even want to pick up the phone when you call them setting up an interview. And I won't mention no names, but, you know, it happens with a lot of artists.
True, true.
All right, well, you know what? Let's get on some Rock Goddess music. Then maybe we'll follow up with a little Girlschool. Then we can talk about Slayer and everything else that's going on in metal this week before Ty calls in around 7:15. So here you go, heavy metal rock and roll. Roll.